And so, with deep humility, I stand in front of you. I'm proud to play the palace. It's like a dream come true. That is why I'd like to shout it up and down, just to tell Broadway that the two-a-day is back in town.
And here we are, right on the stage of the Palace Theater, where Judy Garland has just finished her very first show. And sitting in the audience were Mary Healy and Peter Lind Hayes, who have to leave almost any minute to do their own show at the Waldorf, but let's get a reaction from them very quickly. Mary, hi, what did you think?
I'm practically speechless. It was thrilling to watch little Judy Garland, and everybody just adored her tonight.
Well, let us just say that we love Judy, and about did you time how long she did? She must have done about 55 minutes, didn't she?
I think so. Mm-hmm.
And it's really exciting.
It was staged so beautifully, too. Mr. Chuck Walter should take a bow. It was really fine.
Hey, that's Judy in the background. You better move on, Jinx.
Now about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photographers are taking pictures of Judy Garland and
Being
Marlene
embraced
Dietrich.
by Marlene Dietrich. They both look beautiful.
Judy's still with her hair up from the Tramp number. They want more pictures, and Judy wants to talk to her friends.
Had a great opening, and she wants to finally rest. I don't blame her. I understand, Jinx, that she's been working here all night long for the past 3 nights, all day and all night long.
Yes, they've been doing previews just as they do all Broadway openings. They've been having preview shows and audiences.
And certainly proved it tonight because the staging was wonderful.
But Judy's wearing ballet slippers, a dressing gown, her hair pinned up, and is at the moment now greeting Howard Dietz and his wife, designer Lucinda Ballard.
Marlene, go away now.
Hi, how are you? Howard Dietz, did Judy sing any of your songs?
Judy didn't sing any of my songs, but every song she sang was wonderful.
Which one did you like best?
I liked Over the Rainbow.
Wonderful.
Marlene, will you tell me what you thought of it? We saw you up there with your daughter. Jinx and I were trying to figure out who was prettiest.
Oh, my daughter, surely.
You beat your hands off to the elbows.
Well, certainly.
Had you ever seen anything like this?
No. But I didn't expect anything else.
You didn't expect anything else?
No.
I didn't expect anything so wonderful because I didn't
Oh,
think it could
I knew
happen.
it. Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much for
Goodbye.
stopping by. Bye. And now we're going to move the mic over to the guy who helped us take the right step forward in this fantastic show business, William Morris, Jr., who's a tradition all his own in show business, and I can't think of a better guy to give us a reaction. You want to take over and tell New York exactly how you felt about what happened at the Palace tonight?
Well, it was such a thrill seeing the great performer that I saw tonight, and it brought me back to the opening night of the Palace and the great stars that have been here, and I was so thrilled for Abe Lastfogel, who's so much part of this evening. By the way, there's a British gentleman right alongside of me, Mr. Leonard Coulter. I wish you would have a chat with him. I'd like to know the British point of view.
Well, boss, we've met, Leonard. Judy made her debut, just as she did here tonight, over in your town. Do you think she's lived up to the advance notices that you got over there?
Oh, I think she's wonderful. One of the things that I regretted most about being in New York was that I was here when she was in London. And now I feel that the world has turned full circle, and I've here and I've seen her wonderful performance. And so that all my regrets have disappeared.
Thank you very much, Leonard, for that report. That report, I agree with you, I think she has.
Well, here is that man who's been traveling all around the world for the New York Post, Mr. Earl Wilson. Hi, Earl.
Hi. How are you?
What did you think of tonight?
Well, I thought it was wonderful, but so did everybody else I talked to. I stood in the lobby and talked to a lot of people who said that they were in a very weepy mood. They were nearly all affected emotionally by it because of the nostalgia, you know, and because of their love for Judy, I guess it was.
It's amazing, all this nostalgia from a very, very young girl.
Well, but yet she stands for something, I guess, even though she never appeared here before. You know, she never had been at the Palace, as I understand it.
No.
According to the songs she sang and so forth. In 1933, this place closed. The Palace two-a-day thing closed. You know, I'd never seen a two-a-day.
Either.
Were you thrilled by it?
I certainly was. I know what they mean now when they talk about the good old days.
The good old two-a-days.
I was terribly interested watching Sophie Tucker's reactions to Judy Garland, singing some of the songs that Judy sang that I'm sure Sophie sang.
What was her reaction? Because I didn't get a chance to see her. She was sitting somewhere else in the theater, as far as I was concerned.
She was right on the edge of her seat, and she was looking from one side to the other, you know, not wanting to miss a thing and just cheering and applauding louder than anybody.
Well, I was sitting right behind Toots Shore and Bert Wheeler, and Bert especially was getting a big kick out of it because, of course, he'd been here, you know, and then Joey Lewis, I believe he's a favorite of yours, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He says he's coming in here next. He wanted me to state that, wanted me to tell you that.
Was he here tonight?
He was here, but he was kidding about coming in here, I think, because, well, he had a few jokes about it. I better not tell you.
Oh, what?
He was saying, shouting to everybody else, see you over to Copa. He was shilling a little bit for his show over to Copacabana.
I didn't see him. I made notes all over my program about who was in the audience, but I missed Joey Lewis.
Well, he was having a fine time, I'll tell you that.
Earl Wilson, what did you think was the high spot of the show, of Judy's part of the show?
Don't you think it was when she came and sat down on the edge of the stage and got kind of confidential with everybody? Didn't you think that was a high point?
I think so. Very close to the audience, wasn't she?
Right in their hearts, as somebody would say.
And it's amazing with that spotlight getting smaller and smaller and wiping out the rest of her body, finally just concentrating on her face and her voice.
Uh-huh. It was a real thrilling evening.
You going to do a column about that?
I am, uh-huh.
Will it appear today?
It will appear today, yes.
Tonight's Post.
Tonight's Post.
Thank you very much, Earl Wilson, for letting us scoop you.
All right, thank you, Jane.
It wasn't working. When you burst through the door just ahead of us, could you, you're in show business, could you react, could you say again with all the feeling what you said to her when you came through that door?
You're talking about when I walked into Judy Garland's dressing room? All I said is, Judy, I love you. This was the greatest, most exciting performance I've ever seen in all of the years I've been in show business. I love you for it.
And you're the boss of the house, and this is really the Cinderella girl come home. You warned us a long time ago that this would happen. Did you believe that it could happen as wonderfully as it has?
Well, I dreamed that someday we might bring two-a-day back to the Palace Theater, but never to the excitement and the ovation and the thrills and real nostalgic ovations that we had when Judy Garland finished the performance tonight. I have a tremendous thrill for this evening, and I'll never forget it as long as I live.
I'll tell you something you missed because you weren't where you could see it. But when Judy was singing about being a minstrel girl, Sophie Tucker came, and she felt it so deeply that she couldn't sit down. She just had to stand in the aisle. She got here late from her own show. She had to stand in the aisle and hear the rest of that song.
Well, I can only say this, that as I stood in the rear of the theater as the people walk out, I'm sure they'll remember this evening as one of the top evenings of show business and theater entertainment.
I hope Victor puts the whole evening in an album.
Right here, walking backstage at this moment, is the very beautiful Maria Riva, star of television on another network, a very friendly network, and daughter of Marlene Dietrich. Maria, who's just off the cover of Collier's magazine, looking very beautiful at this moment in a deep red velvet coat. Hello, Maria.
Hello. It was a great night, wasn't it?
I watched you and your mother in the top balcony, not balcony, box, applauding with such enthusiasm. Didn't you love it?
Oh, it was one of the most exciting moments of my life. It's one of everything that we work for, and to see this coming out of this wonderful little body. I used to play with her, you know. We grew up together, Judy and I.
No, in California,
In
of course.
California. And she used to tell me about her dreams, and we used to sit together, and I was big and fat and ugly, and she thought that she had a very ugly face, too, and we sort of had a bond, you see. We were living in a world where people were very beautiful, and we felt very ugly ducklings, and we had great big dreams. Judy had this deep, beautiful voice inside of her, and I remember saying to her, even then, someday you're going to be great. And tonight I was sitting there and I was thinking, isn't it wonderful for me to be able to witness her greatness?
Because I agree with you, Maria. I think this is the greatest Judy has ever been, right here on stage.
It was perfect tonight. She can't be any better ever. But I think she can someday, even that.
Well, I
She can
hope
top
she
herself.
said something to you. Did she, about how you grew up and grew out of your chubbiness, which haunted you when you were about 12 years old?
Will you stop making faces at me, Judy?
Well, Maria, thank you very much for reminiscing about Judy's childhood, which wasn't very long ago, and thank you for stopping by this microphone.
Thank you very much, and thank you for tonight, Judy.
was wonderful.
Judy, hi. You were sensational.
Well, thank you very, very much, Jinx. It was, I'm so tired and so excited. I can't talk very well, I don't think. It was really the biggest, most thrilling night of my whole life.
And just a few months ago, when we sat across each other on this microphone, I said, when are you going to be on stage in New York? Do you remember?
I remember very well. I didn't know whether I'd make it or not, but I made it. I hope they keep me here for a while.
Well, I hope you stay here longer than the scheduled 4 weeks. I'm sure New York will want you to stay, Judy.
I hope so, darling. It's such fun, and the New York audience has been more than gracious and kind. As a matter of fact, they were magnificent. I've got this ugly-looking old robe on now, and I got to go take a shower, and I look awful. I'm going to leave you, and you, by the way, look beautiful. Good night, Jinx.
Good night, Judy, and thank you very much.